With a nice little coho. Coho. We're going to try and get a couple of these and take them in and smoke them.
Ooh, good idea.
Good idea. Oh, hi Diane.
Hi there.
What you doing?
Oh, just wondering if this was such a wise move.
What you got?
I've got some bear tracks.
Yeah, but are they a bear track or are they bear tracks?
They're a bear track.
Okay.
These are the voyages of the sailing vessel Pacific Wonder, and we are cruising southeast. This week on Pacific Wonder, it's Wildlife Week, as we explore Frederick Sound and encounter deer, whales, bears, and the fighting fish of Southeast Alaska. We begin this episode where we left last time, with Sitka black-tailed deer on Mitkof Island. They are everywhere. Adorable and adaptable, the Sitka blacktail can be found near town, on remote beaches, and at the most isolated alpine meadows. They are survivors. As sure as the sun comes up on a foggy morning, Carrie will be thinking fish. After all, we're in Alaska, and it's in her blood.
So what you doing, Carrie?
Well, this is the first step in a process, a three-step process. This is halibut fishing. I know, they don't look like halibut, do they? So, the first thing is, you catch the herring. And you use the herring for bait. You catch the salmon. And then you use the salmon for bait to catch the halibut. And you eat the salmon, and you eat the halibut, but you don't eat all the salmon. You use the tails and the fins and the pieces of backbone fillet and like that. That's the halibut bait. So I'm told.
Okay.
We're going to start a trip next week. Well, next week. So we're going to start a trip Saturday, which is like in 2 days.
Yeah.
And we're going to go up to Portage Bay, and there's some mud flats outside of that anchorage. I thought I'd try. And then we're going to go over to Pybus Bay, and that's supposed to be a well-known, fishing mecca. And so I thought, well, we'll start here. We'll do a little salmon fishing on the way to Portage Bay. There we go. There's some herring. And then if we're lucky enough to catch a salmon on the herring, or a lure, or whatever, then we'll use the bits and pieces. And if I catch a pink, I'll cut the fish. We're going to fish for coho for table fare for salmon. And pink salmon for bait, and then if we get a coho, we'll use the scraps. But I don't know, how many of these do we need? I got a couple dozen in the freezer now from yesterday. I've got a couple dozen here. Big.
I think you're done.
Now if this was, here, take a look. Now if this was back in the day, I'd stand here and fish, for a couple of hours and get 2 or 3 buckets of these, and then the Italian fleet would probably be in at Avila, and we'd have a fish fry and drink beer. But those days are gone. We're in Alaska now, and I don't see any Italians. So, there's the bait. I think that's probably enough, Diane. I mean, I can keep going and going, but I can change bait quite often and still have enough here. And of course, we can catch bait wherever we go. I mean, good Lord. What'd that take? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I guess.
Probably 10 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
We're in Alaska. I like it.
Okay.
All right.
Are we off?
We're off.
Okay. We're off.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, she got lots of room to turn around here.
Yeah, I guess somebody put it in.
And there's still people out here trying to catch the little herrings. Okay, Petersburg, we'll be back.
Oh, there's your big guy right there, too.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Where? I don't see him. Oh, yeah, now I see him.
There he is.
He's trying to race you.
He's big.
He is huge. We're headed out to Frederick Sound, right?
Right. We're gonna run out here by the Sockeye Islands, maybe beyond a little bit, towards Cape Beacon Point, and maybe troll for salmon for a little while. I don't know. And then we're gonna go up and go into Portage Bay. Maybe spend a couple days there trying to catch a halibut.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
I hear there's a possibility of something there, so.
I know one thing, we're not going to smell that for a while.
Or the other.
Or that.
Listen to that other thing back there.
Or that.
Ocean fresh.
Or that back there.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is the town that fish built.
Yes.
You didn't have any misconceptions that it wouldn't smell like fish, did you?
Well, I thought it would at least stop at nighttime. These people have a prime location. Oh, this is probably going to be bad looking into the sun.
Oh yeah.
It turns
Need to document our new toy too.
into the
Pictures of that.
residential
See if it's working.
real quick. Harry installed a new GPS. And yep, it looks like it's working. So we left Petersburg this morning under blue skies and a little bit of fog. We are headed to Portage Bay and eventually head to Pybus Bay. But we thought we would go check out the icebergs that are floating in Frederick Sound. They came down from the LeConte Glacier, which is the southernmost tidal
glacier in North America. Tidal glacier means that it flows all the way into the ocean and it calves off into the ocean. It actually has its foot, its toe, in the sea. A non-tidal glacier becomes an alpine glacier, and then it terminates on land.
Oh, okay.
Water flows to the sea.
Okay.
Tidal glacier, the glacier actually has ice flow to the sea.
So the birds like it. It was a lot bigger a couple of days ago, but it's had some rain on it, and obviously it's off by itself, so it's not got as much cold air mass around it.
And this is not a rare sight here.
Yeah, no, they say that they're here all the time.
And I'm going to come around here, give you a look at just how close this is to town. We're only, what, a mile off of town, mile and a half off of town?
Maybe.
Outside the harbor here.
One evening we had a frozen tree come into the harbor.
Yeah, it was off of the piece of this. Actually a frozen tree stuck up against the big ship that was next to us, the processing ship, stuck up under his bow most of the night. That's about as close as I dare get to that thing.
Yeah.
We're like 3 boat lengths from it, and that's just as close as I want to get.
You can see a little bit of something floating in the background. That's part of a frozen tree.
Yeah. Birds like it.
And there's Petersburg in the background. And look at that, blue sky!
That's an anomaly here, I think.
Yeah.
So we're headed down here now, if you look off the bow. We're headed down, we're going to go through Mumbai. I was going to go inside the Sockeye Islands, but we're out here now, so I'm going to go outside the Sockeye Islands.
Okay.
Get up against the shore down there by Aiken Point, where the salmon fish go a bit.
We're headed
Portage Bay.
We're headed the same direction as all the other boats.
Never mind, it's Portage Bay.
Yeah. Okay.
Late afternoon, we glide past the Portage Islands through the narrow entrance to Portage Bay. The water is so still, the moon reflects off its mirrored surface as the sun sets into the stillness of dark night. Behold the full moon on an Alaskan summer night. A short few hours later, a golden morning is upon us. It's time to do a little exploring.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Today is August the 1st.
Yeah.
Summer's almost over. We've had a whole day of sunshine yesterday, so.
It's sort of sunshine today.
So we are in Portage Bay on Kupernoff Island, on the north end of Kupernoff Island. Some 24 miles, something like that, from Petersburg. We left Petersburg yesterday and had I think, probably one of the best days we've had, most eventful days we've had.
Oh, yeah.
And beautiful scenery too. So we left Petersburg, and first shot out of the harbor, we spotted some icebergs. And so we went there and took some photographs of the icebergs. Circled one a couple times, close as we dared.
Trying to video.
Yeah. And so then we started sliding up outside the Sockeye Islands towards our destination here. And we got up beyond Point Beacon by Cape Strait. And we saw a couple of humpbacks.
Yeah, I think
quite some time.
I think I got tail pictures
You got pictures?
of tails.
oh, good.
Yeah.
So this would be a good place to insert pictures if you have them. And so then the water turned from the glacial melt there back to ocean water, and there was a nice tide rip, and I said, well, step 2 in catching a halibut is catching a salmon. And hopefully, you know, we've been targeting, since we got up here, coho, silver salmon, because the king run is long over. That was in, May and June. And there's pinks around, and they're so-so for table fare. There's dog salmon around, and you don't want one of those. And the sockeye's over, and there wasn't much of a run anyway. So there's coho. So we said, well, we'll target coho, and we'll use the coho trim for halibut bait. And so that's what we did. We hit that ocean water, and we put in a salmon line there, and trolled for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe.
Got one. And got him halfway into the boat, and wild sucker, he put on quite an aerial display and threw the hook. I'm using barbless hooks from California, so that's okay, We'll try again, and we still had a ways to go to get up here. And so we put another herring on. That was step 1, was catching a herring. We put another herring on and put him down, and 5 minutes we had a second fish. And we got that one, and it was a really nice coho, about 7 or 8 pounds.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, well, let's go on up to Portage Bay. So we started running up here, and we got here, and it happened to be right at low slack. And I said, well, slack tide's when you catch the halibut. I didn't have the salmon cleaned yet. I mean, we'd only been in the ice box for about 10 minutes. And I said, let's just put one of these herring on, because I heard you can also catch halibut on herring. And so we put a herring on and fished right here in a little spot that outside of Portage Bay, in a little spot that one of the local halibut fishermen told us. And dang if we didn't, in 5 or 10 minutes, catch 2. So now we're all bellied up and anchored up here, as you can see. It's a beautiful anchorage here in Portage Bay. And it's a huge anchorage. You could probably anchor a few hundred boats in here. One of the best anchorages we've been in, and very well protected. So we anchored up here. There were a couple of boats up near the entrance where we were going to anchor, so we said, well, no sense being that chummy and give everybody a little room. So we came down here in the middle of the bay and anchored up, and we had a great halibut dinner last night.
Great halibut dinner. The wind died.
We had a great halibut dinner last night.
Jeez, don't do that.
And yeah, the wind died down, and
it was
had a beautiful
glassy
sunset.
out.
Beautiful sunset, glassy out. It's just gorgeous. One of the quietest nights we've spent on this whole trip, I think. It's absolutely still and quiet here. And so now we're embarking on our second day of sunshine. Well, it's kind of semi-sunshine, but it still is. There's blue sky and sun, and it's relatively warm. I guess it's probably in the low 60s, maybe the high 50s, probably high 50s, but relatively warm for here. And so we've been scanning the bank here for signs of brown bear. We'd kind of like to get some photographs of brown bear, but all afternoon and all morning this morning we saw nothing. And so we're going to venture a little trip over here for a shore excursion now. And I've been seeing salmon jump over here next to the bank, so I'm thinking I might sneak over here later after we do this little trek over here, and I might sneak over here later with a couple of lures and just do some catch and release salmon fishing, because we've got, you know, like I said, we've got a whole salmon and 2 small halibuts. It's just little chickens, but a couple feet long, but they're nice eating halibut, so we've got, which is perfect for us.
Yeah.
So,
as long as you don't go crazy, because we don't have the storage capacity.
Right. Well, we have to eat those before we, you know, you can catch a halibut up to 300 pounds. I mean, people do, but a lot of fish are caught around 60 or 70 pounds. Well, what would we do with one of those? You know, eat 5 pounds of it and let the rest rot, because we could maybe put 15 pounds in the refrigerator. So we've just kind of decided that if we catch one over 15 pounds, we have to turn it loose. And these 2 yesterday weren't even 15 pounds. They were probably 6 pounds and 5 pounds or something like that. So we just said, hey, perfect. Keep them. Let's eat them. We're going to anchor here for a couple of days, do a little cruising around with the skiff and catch and release fishing and looking for bears and kick back in the sunshine. And we have the boat opened up. My God.
We got every hatch open.
I'll let Diane tell you that story on the way back. I mean, it's just been,
been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, what, 6 weeks at least of rain every day, every single day. So we haven't been able to open the boat up. You know, we have some ventilation in the boat, but my God, it's not that good. And so below the water line, the boat's sweating, you know, because the water's like 45 degrees. And we're running a heater inside to stay warm, and so the boat sweats in there, and it's all clammy and dewy and ugh. So everything's open and the wind's blowing through, the breeze, what little there is here, and take a little walk and see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Laters.
So we've seen what you're tracking.
Yeah.
A little black bear.
Well, probably a little black bear. Yeah.
So that's kind of, I guess, a good time to bring up the way we approach, the way we've decided. We haven't been trained by anybody, but we've decided when we take a shore excursion to, you know, come into the beach, observe the beach for a good amount of time first.
And we did all day yesterday and all this morning we've been watching.
Yeah, because we actually are in brown bear country. You know, grizzly bear, brown bear.
We haven't seen anything.
We haven't seen one yet, but we're kind of hoping to, but not while we're standing on the beach like this. From the boat would be nice.
So we come ashore and we start looking for tracks or any other sign.
If we haven't seen a brown bear, then we come ashore.
Yeah.
And we check the beach for what?
For bear tracks and any scat or any sign that anybody's been here.
Right.
But,
so
we went for what, maybe 50 feet?
Yeah. No, we gone 50 yards. And yeah, but this is the kind of the suspect spot where this little creek flows in, you know, and salmon run is on. So we thought this would be a place to look. And there's pinks jumping out here. I guess they're pink salmon, something jumping out here in the bay. So
yeah, but they're not coming up the stream.
They're not coming up the stream. It's not big enough to support a spawn.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we came checked here, and sure enough, There's a black bear been through here. And it looks like he's just traveling. It doesn't look like, it looks like a single bear.
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Other little tracks.
It's one or two bears,
I'm not sure.
but it's not. It doesn't appear to be a mama with a cub unless it's like a nearly full-grown cub ready to leave the. No, I think they stay with them for a couple years.
Yeah, they do.
That's an older one, but it's not a little baby. So anyway, so that's where we're at.
We saw people signs first, though.
Yeah. I guess we can put that in here. You took a still neck of an old whiskey bottle back from the day, and
Shotgun shell.
what? No, it's not a shotgun shell. It's what's left of a rifle casing. Right? I don't know if it was. It's a modern casing. It's not old. It's World War II or later. It's looked like a 30-06 casing to me, but the neck was rotted off, so you couldn't tell. And
got a little breeze coming up.
an old wheel, and yeah, I got a little breeze coming up, so I'll probably get back out to the boat.
Interesting row.
Oh no, it's not that bad.
Anyways.
Anyway, we've been far enough now. We've seen bear signs, so
Yeah.
take a little row back out to the boat, have a little lunch. If the wind lays, the breeze lays. It's not a wind, it's breeze.
No, it's just a breeze.
Breeze lays or not. I don't know. We might take a hike or take a skip ride over to the other side of the bay
Yeah.
here and take a look. There's a
Looks like a pretty good sized creek coming in.
yeah, actually there's a pretty good sized like stream a little farther up the bay here, but I kind of don't want to go over there because there was a float plane flew in there last night.
And
A couple of boats have come and gone from there, little speedboat, so kind of thinking that there's, a lodge or something over there maybe, and I know there's a forestry cabin, a little A-frame over there, and you can rent that. But so anyway,
we have our own cabin.
that's the story.
Yeah. For today, so far.
Yep. Check with you later.
Pretty area.
Yeah. Very pretty area. I'm glad we came, and we're eating good too.
The next day, fully rested and well fed, we push back into Frederick Sound, and behold, we are blessed. Thar be whales! At the end of the day, we enter Cannery Cove at Pybus Bay. Who says you can't have everything? It seems to us that in this place, perhaps, one does have it all.
Oh, today is, I should start with what day it is. It's,
August 3rd, I
yeah,
believe.
but I'm trying to figure out what day it is. Is it
I believe
Wednesday?
it's August 3rd, Thursday.
Thursday, August 3rd. Okay, I thought it was Wednesday. This is Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, it's Thursday, August 3rd. That sounds right. 2017. We came in yesterday. We left Portage Bay, which we really rather liked. Very large bay. The fishing's good. The weather was good. The anchorage is good, and hardly any people. A few coming and going, but it was quiet. And so we left there, and we crossed Frederick Sound over to Admiralty Island here. And coming across Frederick Sound, we had quite a show. I mean, they were having a humpback convention, and they were doing the fandango. So that was quite a show. And so we came in here last night with high hopes of finding a nice, quiet, secluded little cove with good fishing and good anchorage, and we're after bears. I mean, that's what this trip is all about. We're in search of some bears. And much to our dismay, I guess, or disappointment a little bit, we got in here, and this place, according to the guidebook that everybody, that cruises Southeast Alaska gets, and you'll all know which one I'm talking about. I don't need to say the name of it. Cannery Cove is a preferred anchorage here. It has excellent fishing. The locals use it. Fishing and crabbing is great. Excellent protection. What they don't tell you is there's a sport fishing launch here. There's 3 docks lined with aluminum boats and guides and rentals, and so out in Pybus Bay, it's pretty busy out there. In here in the anchorage where the lodge actually is, we're behind the lodge in the anchorage at Cannery Cove. And it's fairly quiet in here. There's been a couple float planes come and go. There were 3 big yachts in here. 2 of them were in here when we got here, and then another one came in, big mega yachts, anchored, and they picked up this morning and left, so that's good. We decided to go ahead and at least spend the morning here. And we woke up looking at this little flat over here to a grizzly bear. We didn't get any picture of him, he was too quick. He strolled across the meadow. Of course, he was gone before we could get our camera out.
I mean, it's awfully far away, too.
Yeah, it's quite a ways from where we anchored. The yachts were in the preferred anchorage, so we were anchored outside, and so, that's how that works. But, so anyway, we said, well, let's, it's still, they left, and we saw a bear, so let's get ready and have breakfast and go over there on a little excursion, and now we got a breeze coming up here. But, and we did. We had breakfast, and while we were having breakfast, we watched another black bear 2 or 3 times come out and chase salmon up and down the river. There's a salmon spawn of some sort going on here. So, here we are. We're on our way over to see if we can have a friendly meeting with Yogi and get some photographs of him close up to see. Haven't seen the bears for an hour. Oh, there goes one right now running across. He's chasing the salmon.
Well, Carrie, you wanted to get up close to a grizzly bear. Hop on out. I'll wait here in the skiff for you. Wow, how about those salmon? Gee willikers. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Uh-oh. Come on, boo-boo, let's go. Heaven has a sunset, and another anchorage just across the bay.
Oh, hey,
Hi there.
there you are.
Today is Friday, August the 4th. We spent the morning in Cannery Cove. Last time we talked about us going in search of bars, and we found some. They're kind of a long ways off, which was kind of on purpose. We didn't want to get too close to them.
Yeah, but a long ways off. When we got up there and started taking pictures, what were you talking about? A long ways.
I don't know, 100 yards?
Yeah, that's pretty close to be with the grizzly bear,
Well,
or even these brown bears that some of them we saw.
they would have had to swim to get to us, though.
They made sure of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, last night there was quite a bit of breeze last night. So we were kind of up checking the anchor all night long, and at one point Carrie goes, Diane, Northern Lights, come quick. And sure enough, we saw some northern lights last night, and they were spread all across the sky, and one of them was like daylight.
Yeah, I was up and down all night long.
Yeah.
I watched those things for. Don't let the flies carry you away here. I watched those things from about 11:45 till 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you said, nope, that ain't happening.
I looked and I said, okay, that's nice. I've seen them now. Check that off my list.
Oh my God, gorgeous.
Yeah,
it was just amazing. I tried to photograph it several times.
Then the camera wouldn't do it.
Camera won't do it. And I don't know if it's operator error. We just don't know how to do it, but we've read the book and tried to make the settings, and that's why we were 100 yards from the bears. We tried to video the bears at 75 and 100 yards, and the camera just won't suck them in. It
won't focus on.
we got a little bit, but it's not really worth sharing. I show you a little clip here, but so we said, the heck with that, and we just focused on stills, and we got a few stills.
Yeah.
So from 75 and 100 yards away, we could get stills, and we could be we actually rowed up into the creek a ways.
Carrie rowed. I didn't row.
Yeah, Carrie rowed us up in the shore boat up into the creek for a ways amongst the bears that were fishing there.
Yeah.
And yesterday was mostly black bear.
Yeah.
Today there were some grizzly. And some of them we didn't dare.
A couple of them had cubs, so we were.
One had two cubs, one had one cub, and then there was one
pictures of the one with two cubs.
one massive boar.
Yeah.
That I would have liked to have got pictures from, but I thought, just viewing him and saying I saw him is pretty nice. He was probably a 9-foot bear. I imagine 8-9 foot bear at least, maybe bigger, but
And then
he was huge.
Then the wind came up and blew our scent right towards them, so they all disappeared.
Right. So that was hunting.
And then we said, okay. We left for a while, and then we came back, and nothing happened. And so then we started to leave again, and then I'm looking back as Carrie's rowing us to the boat.
We started talking. Bear hunt's over, right?
Yeah.
So we started talking.
Talking and splashing the oars and, just being our normal selves. And I look behind Carrie, and there's one standing up in the grass.
Yeah.
And I said, wait.
Big sow grizzly stood up
Yeah.
on her haunches, is like, whoa.
So I hope I got some in-focus pictures of her.
I went back for her.
Yeah.
I went back and went into the grass, actually, in the skiff.
Yeah.
And made some noise so she'd stand up. She wasn't aggressive.
No. So if you're wondering why I'm swatting,
Yeah, I am wondering, what are you doing? You look schizoid.
That's me. We decided to leave Cannery Cove and come over to Henry's Arm in Pybus Bay. And
that's where we are now.
that's where we are now. It's very neat. It's
Oh,
a
God.
nice, quiet
So
little
private.
cove. There's nobody here. It's just us and the kingfisher birds.
And it's breathless. There's no wind. It's
There's
so well
no
protected.
wind.
There's not a breath of wind.
And it's hot. And
And it's just the way the flies like it, huh?
yeah, just the way the flies.
I don't know
like
if these are salmon fly, what they call salmon flies, or what. They're
know.
huge, like horse flies, and they
and
bite.
They bite.
And
they bite.
they're
And we didn't buy
obnoxious.
we didn't buy any citronella candles or cigars or anything like that. We just had-
Cigars. I want to see you smoke a
No,
cigar
there's no
to
way.
keep the
You
flies
wanna see
away.
me-
I want to see
You
that.
want to see me green? So we've got some bug spray, and that's what we're doing at this point.
What we're doing is you're waving a towel.
Yes, I'm waving a towel around and swatting
Yeah.
at them.
So we're about ready to fire up the barbecue.
Yep.
And
Salmon
it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that.
We haven't had lunch, so
Took a look around here, and it looks just real private. There's a crabber, commercial crabber left. I don't
all
know.
of his pots over here on the shore.
I don't know if that's all of his
Well,
pots.
yeah,
but
I don't know either.
he's got some those collapsible ring pots that he's probably got 50 of those there, and maybe 25 of the regular Dungeness pots.
Yeah.
And there's a tote over here on a barge, and I don't know. Looks like
the chart shows that there's a barge in here.
yeah. Well, there
but
is. There is
there
the
ain't
remnants
much
of
left
it.
Yeah, there's not much left of it. And there were a family of sea lions that came in here. Or seals, I don't know which.
Sea lions.
Sea lions.
Those were sea lions, yeah.
And
And we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
We might stay here for a day or two, and it depends on whether the flies run us out or not.
yeah.
If the flies run us out, we'll go back to Portage Bay.
Yeah.
We're going to have a nice salmon and halibut dinner tonight.
Yep.
Little mixed combination.
Yeah.
So maybe we can go catch some more of those one of these days.
Yeah.
Eat the ones we got. Here at Henry's Arm.
Henry's Arm. In Pybus Bay.
Some of those crab pots. I guess that's one way to do it.
Hey, they're out of the water.
Yep, that makes them legal.
A real treat. Seafood barbecue in the sunshine. The next day, we thread our way through the scattered islets where Pybus Bay intersects Frederick Sound, and Carrie finds a bait ball. Watch out, don't let her clip you with a fishing rod.
Hey!
Hi.
Yeah, about 20, maybe 25 pounds. Those dandy. Quite 25 pounds.
Okay.
Hard to lift. Big ol' halibut here. Alaskan halibut.
Yay.
Alaskan halibut dinner. Yeah!
The good news, more halibut. Yum! Back into Portage Bay. Heaven has a name.
Hey, another nice little coho. Coho ho ho. Gonna try and get a couple of these and take them in and smoke them.
Ooh, good idea.
Good idea. All right.
She'll never get enough of this. Never. Viking legend says they come with the mist. Perhaps it's true. We're here! But really, this fog is beautiful. The majestic glaciers of Frederick Sound. LeConte Glacier, the ice cube tray of Frederick Sound. This little guy rode with us for weeks. We named her Charlotte.
Ideal Cove.
And yes, we found it to be ideal.
With a furler in the middle of it.
Kind of sad, as we know this is the end of our last trip of 2017, but it was ideal.
Okay, so today is
Tuesday,
August the 29th.
yep,
And we are at the far eastern end of Frederick Sound. This is our last trip of the year, that's why I wanted to do this. It was absolutely gorgeous night all night, crystal clear, not a breath of wind. We anchored at the far eastern end of Frederick Sound in a place called Ideal Cove, and boy was it ideal. It's just beautiful, flat, quiet, excellent anchorage. All alone. The guy we met a couple of years ago in Anacortes that fishes up here all the time, he was down here with his gill netter fishing the area you see right behind me. And he's been getting a few coho in his gill nets, and I guess emphasis on the word few. Notice he's gone this morning, so I guess it wasn't too good yesterday. Huh? At any rate, we started this trip out Sunday.
yeah,
And we ran west in Frederick Sound up to we ran up past Beacon Point, and we trolled for salmon all the way from west of Beacon Point all the way, the other side of Cape Strait, Portage Islands. I mean, we spent the whole day grinding because we caught coho up there last time we were out, which was like 2 weeks ago. Last time we were out fishing.
So they've got to still be there, right?
Well, it's just a place to start, And of course they weren't. There was nothing there. No one was catching any fish there. So we fished the last hour and a half of the day, something like that, for halibut in front of the anchorage here. Caught a couple small ones. Good eating size, but that's about it. Boy, they weren't very, very big. And we went in, and we were beat, tired. We had a good night's sleep there, and got up the next morning, and it was just absolutely pea soup fog. And we had planned on going out and fishing halibut, right at first light, because that was the slack tide when you could fish halibut without anchoring. And fog lasted through till maximum flow, which made it like, well, you're not going to fish halibut for another 3 hours. And we know there was no salmon there, so we said, well, let's just take a run up here, see what Ideal Cove is like. We trolled for coho along the way and didn't get any in. Now we fished for halibut down here for about a half an hour this morning, but all I'm finding is that really silty glacial mud, and that's not good. So we're headed in, and absolutely clear sky is during this, and reports are of fast-moving front going through tonight. They're already catching hell in Sitka right now. So we're going to head on in, fuel up, slip up for a few days. We get another nice day. We're going to take the sail down and put it in the storage locker that we've got rented on the 1st, and start stripping the boat off, get ready to go home. And I don't know how you feel about it, Diane, but I'm getting tired.
It's time.
It's time to go home. It's cold, it's raining. We get one day like this out of every 25 days, maybe. And 20 days of that, 20 of the 25 days are pouring rain all day long. 3 days will be intermittent showers, just an occasional shower where you can get out.
Overcast.
Like the halibut fishing we did Sunday was in the rain.
Yeah.
So it's not fun anymore.
I'm ready for some Indian summer.
Yeah, I hope there's some sunshine left when we get home. So we got a date to pull the boat on the 12th of September.
No.
Or the 7th of September.
Yeah.
We got a date to pull it, so that's only a week away. And then we've got 5 days later, we're flying out of here. So Alaska Air, hopefully, rain or shine.
On a jet plane.
I hope. And we've got some halibut to take home. We've got some smoked salmon to take home. We got enough.
Yep.
And
it's going to be interesting figuring out how to take all the stuff home that we want to take home.
well,
some of it may not go.
no, the only thing that's going home, as far as I know, is one change of clothes and the fish.
And computers.
Oh, and the two laptops. Yeah.
And the camera.
And the camera. Oh yeah. We may have 2 checked bags, huh?
We may.
Yeah, we'll see.
We may.
Anyway, that's what we got to do. Then that's what we got to do to get home. So anyway, it's been fun. It's been nice. It's been real. It's been wild. And the trip up was magnificent. After we got here, it's been nothing but rain. And I know it rains a lot in Petersburg, but people in Petersburg are sick of it too. Very unusual year.
But they do keep reminding us that it is a rainforest.
Yeah. But it's been raining just as much in Ketchikan, just as much in Wrangell, just as much in Sitka, just as much in Juneau. So I think it's just an odd year.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get back here in May, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in May. And clean her up and get going again.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll definitely need to be cleaned up. From what we've seen of the other boats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure we're going to have a green boat when we get back here because it is a rainforest.
Yeah.
But they rent pressure washers right there at the harbor.
So that'll help.
And hopefully our sealant and our tarp job and everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Back in Petersburg. Maybe the next time we see you will be boarding a plane.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, Rocky.
Join us on Facebook in April as we begin our 2018 cruise of Southeast Alaska. With Pacific Wonder now on the hard, we board a jet and fly home to our cabin in the Northern Sierra. Be sure to click on the icon on the left to subscribe to our channel, and click on the icon on the right to see our trip up the Inside Passage.